local history, local culture, local events, your community. This is the Joe Kelly Show.
And welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Cliff Crandall Jr. is our guest, and he's a well-known member of the community. He's done so many things in his life. I'm going to try to list them a little bit, but we're going to talk about his latest idea, a great idea, and that is videos, free videos for seniors, and they're entitled, and I love the name, Still Alive and Kicking.
Yes, still alive and kicking.
as are you, and we'll talk about some of your life in a minute, but the Still Alive and Kicking videos are free.
Yes.
They're for, well, I don't know how you want to define seniors. I'm never sure about that.
Yeah, and I wonder too, because they're directed to men and women basically in their late 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. But I've had individuals contact me that are in their 30s and 40s and go, I never thought of that activity.
Yeah.
That's a great activity. And that's what it's all about. It's pointing out some activities, some things that people can do after you've retired. Maybe you've never done it before. You know, some men and women, they play golf. Well, that's really nice, but it's the only thing they do. That's their activity, and I'm really trying to encourage people to do more things, try things. You don't have to be good at it to have fun at it. I look to do three things. Have some physical activity, so we're working the body, and challenge the mind, and move the emotions. Get a smile on your face. Have fun doing it.
And the ones that you've done so far, I was looking at one just yesterday, Cliff. It was on pickleball.
Pickleball.
And that's very popular right now.
It's become extremely popular, and yet there's so many people I talk to that still don't know what it is. And I love it. I love it for seniors. I enjoy playing. I was a tennis player from high school straight on through college, but pickleball, a court is smaller. You can get from one side to the other without killing yourself. There's an area called the kitchen up by the net. And so if the ball falls into the kitchen really tight, you don't have to run. You can't put your foot in the kitchen, so you don't have to kill yourself to get to it. It's going to bounce out. You're going to try to get it that way. The serve is underhanded. And so you're not worried about those powerful, fast overhead tennis serves from somebody. It's a kind of a wiffle ball, and it just up it goes.
I was in Florida this past winter, and pickleball is huge
Oh,
down there. Now, the videos are a minute and a half?
1 minute.
Minute.
That way they can go on Instagram, YouTube. They're available, and I don't charge anything. I don't look for anything. I'm hoping some other networks pick it up. They're PSAs for seniors, and it gives 1 or 2 points that you might find relevant in you taking this new activity and being successful at it.
And some of the other ones that you have, I was looking at one on hiking. You had one on hiking.
One on hiking, pickleball, kite flying. Kite flying is so nice now, and you talk about relaxing, and you want to spend time with your grandchildren, let's say. Get online, check out the reviews on some of the kites, because there's 1 or 2 that like the ground. But on the video, you'll see I hold the kite up, and away it goes. Next thing you know, it's 300 feet in the air. It's beautiful. The kids love to look at it. People come by. My wife and I have 2 kites that are 24 feet long, and they go up 500 feet, and they just fill the sky. It's wonderful.
Yeah. And the you mentioned Instagram, you mentioned Facebook,
Yep.
YouTube.
Yep.
Did I get them all?
Yep, and
your website.
And our website.
Which is?
Which is American Martial Arts Institute, AMAI-eaglestyle.com. And if you go to stillaliveandkicking.org, you'll see all of them listed, so you can go to any one of them.
Yeah, and I love the title, and the that applies to you. I mean, really, it does. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you've had a knee replacement.
Yep, full knee replacement. I have no ACL or PCL in my left leg, so my full knee replacement really doesn't let my lower two bones, the tibia, fibula, rotate at all. It's more of a hinge, but it works great.
And you're still alive and kicking. You're still up at the American Martial Arts Institute in New Hartford.
Yep,
Yes? Yeah.
sure am.
How long have you been doing that, martial arts? And I should have introduced you as a Grand Marshal. Excuse me.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. It's been, I guess, in the martial arts, 57 years that I've been doing martial arts. I was doing it when I was a teacher, a high school principal, superintendent. I've been doing it really my whole life. I love it.
Yeah. How did you go from education? I mean, superintendent, that's as high as you're going to get in education. How did you go from being a superintendent, and where were you as superintendent?
I was superintendent of schools at St. Johnsville Central School District for 3 years. But my passion had always been the martial arts. And I got accepted to train under Master Shigechi Taguchi in Japan at about that time. I left education. I was at the time really studying to go into a DS, BOCI superintendent. And I went to Japan and trained, stayed there and trained, came back, wrote my first book and said, no, this is my life.
Yeah.
Training, martial arts, it's a discipline, it's a structure I love. It's probably one of the primary reasons I'm sitting here with you now, because one of my other instructors, Master Tasuni Oshimatsuno, was my sword master, and the Bushido code is that when you're skilled at things and you have a grasp of them, you're supposed to share them with your community. You're supposed to be in your community and better it if you can. That's what you're supposed to be doing. And so each time I've done things in the community, I have felt like I'm fulfilling the Bushido code. So.
How long have you been up in New Hartford at the American Martial Arts Institute?
Oh, I really don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I'll call it a senior moment. You know, I'm 75. Give me a break.
Yeah.
It's a long time now, though.
Yeah.
Long time.
And any idea how many students have gone through that?
No clue.
Yeah.
And they have been wonderful. It's a little scary at times when somebody comes in and says, I'd really like to sign up our child. And I go, oh, that's great. And they say, well, you know, I had you, I studied under you when I was 7, and my father brought me and he trained here. And I go, in your name? And I go, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And now I've got a grandchild
Yeah.
from the very first student that's coming. But we love it. I have a great group of instructors, and I love their enthusiasm.
When we come back, we'll talk about enthusiasm, because enthusiasm is part of this whole
thing.
video that you're putting out.
Yeah.
Cliff Crandall Jr. is our guest, and we're talking about his new series of videos that are out. They come out, what, twice a week?
They come out twice a month.
Twice
First
a
of the
month, I'm
month
sorry.
and the 15th of the month.
All right. And we'll tell you more about those videos. Short break, right back. And welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. I have to show some enthusiasm because Cliff Crandall's our guest, and he is full of enthusiasm. And we're talking about his videos. They come out twice a month. You can see them for free. They're geared towards senior citizens, getting them active and happy. And the ones that I saw hiking, and you were advocating when you hike. I like to hike, but I don't have a staff. You advocate having a staff.
I kind of promote the staff. The staff is a nice thing. You don't have to have one, but a staff tends to keep you a little more upright, body posture-wise, as you walk. And it gives you that third leg stability when you're on the ground to move. It'll catch you if you hit a slippery spot, mossy area. And at the same time, it just happens to be a really good tool to defend yourself. I designed a kata with a walking staff, and one of the things I show in the kata is it also moves briars out of your way. So you got these pricker briars in your way, and the staff will push them out of the way as you walk by. So a walking staff is a really nice tool. It doesn't have to be as tall as some of the ones I use. Even if it's only 4 to 5 feet tall, it gives you that stability, that extra reinforcement when you walk, that tool to use if you have to. And I put in there in my PSA, it can help keep the bears and the wild wolves away because we're in the North Country. You know?
Yeah. What are some of the others in this series that you either have already produced or are going to produce?
We've got like 20 set to go now, and they cover miniature golf. Good activity, gets you out, gets you doing something. Mind is involved, puts a smile on your face. Driving ranges are great. Tennis is nice. Horseback riding, trail riding. If you've never ridden before, trail riding is really safe. It's nice. It gets you out. It gets you in the fresh air again. Bonsai trimming, or going to a festival. I've gone to a couple, and I went to the Lilac Festival over in Rochester. And you don't say that's a workout going to a festival. 2 hours of walking around, looking and smelling lilacs, and enjoying the fresh air, the scent, the positiveness, and stimulating the mind with, and it really was nice in the park over there. They label all the trees, so you're learning all the time what kind of tree this one is, what kind that one is. And at the same time, it puts that smile on your face.
Yeah.
So stargazing is another one that I've covered that's great. I have Tabata aerobics. And aerobics are really good for men and women. As we get older now, the Tabata is 10 minutes where you get a break and 20 minutes on activity. In the old days, I used to teach aerobics. You had to keep up with the aerobics instructor for a half hour, and that was hard. Yeah. But now, you're 20 minutes with this activity, and then you're 10 minutes just marching, or 10 seconds just marching in place. Then 20 seconds doing the activity, and 10 seconds marching in place. And so you get this breathing break, and I've seen a lot more men and women in their 60s and 70s taking it up and giving it a try, which is great. Going to the gym and working out is another one I did. And I like to point out that if you go to the gym and you go there primarily to socialize or to help me by holding up one of the machines, just, stand there and hold it up, that's fine. Got you up, got you moving, got you out of the house. If you walk the track twice and do some biceps, triceps, maybe some quad exercises, the fact is you've done more than if you'd stayed home.
Yeah, while you were saying all that, Cliff, I was thinking, I didn't look at it in the right way, I guess. I went to a New York Yankee baseball game the other day. Now, we got off the train at the stadium, and then we had to walk quite a distance to get to the stadium.
Yep.
And then once you're in the stadium, you have to walk quite a distance to your chair.
And you had to go stairs.
And you had to go upstairs. And then you have to go get a hot dog and a beer. And you have to walk to that.
Yeah.
So, and then you have to do it in reverse to get back to the train. So there's a lot of activity
that's an activity.
Yeah.
You got out, you got cleaned up, you got organized, you went someplace, you participated in something. And we say, where's the mental stimulation? There's a lot of mind stimulation. You have to remember where you parked.
Yeah, yeah.
But
What
all
time
of
the
that,
train goes.
Yeah, and the bottom line is you put a smile on your face.
Yeah.
So you touched
well,
all three
not
areas.
not that day because
Okay.
the Yankees lost.
Oh,
so
all right,
I,
all
did,
right.
I was. As a matter of fact, they got no-hitted. But you are what degree black belt?
I'm a 10th Dan.
Now, what does that mean? I'm not conversant.
It's in the traditional sense, it's as high as you can go. And I was recognized. I didn't make myself a 10th degree. I was very fortunate. It was the East Coast Soki Council, and they sent a representative many years ago and promoted me to 10th Dan, recognized me as a Grandmaster of the martial arts and tradition. And there was a TV spot done in the local networks. And it was quite a big honor, and it was after all the years, books and DVDs I had done to receive that. There are people that just absorb, they just take on this 10th Dan status. And now, Americans, we have the ability to do this, take something that's very traditional and alter it. Now you'll find that there are schools that talk about 12th degrees and 14th degrees. But the highest ranking martial artist there was in traditional martial arts is a 10th Dan. In Japanese style, it was 9th degree, and now they recognize 10th. So that's what I am, that's what I've earned, and I appreciate it. And along that same line, I was the 11th person to receive professorship status and certified by the Free Russian Martial Arts National Organization as a professor of the martial arts.
We've only got 30 seconds before the break, but somebody who I know went up there the other day and said, am I too old to get into this? And I'm going to guess he's 40 or 50.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. No, I'm hoping I can get you to start classes within the next couple of weeks.
We'll have to think about that for a
Okay.
second. Yeah. Cliff Crandall Jr. is our guest. We're talking about living.
Yes.
Living an active life. And boy, I don't know anybody who's led a more active life than you. We'll talk about some of those things when we come back. Short break, right back. And welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Cliff Crandall Jr. is our guest. Cliff started the American Martial Arts Institute,
Yes.
which is in New Hartford up on Seneca Turnpike.
Yes, it is.
And but that's only been a small part of his life. Pilot, deep water diver,
Yep,
parachutist.
yep, jumper.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes on. One of the things that I wonder about is where'd you find the time to do all this stuff?
You have to push yourself.
Yeah.
It really is. It's just about saying, you know, this came up, and I went, geez, I want to find out what that's like. I mean, I did bodybuilding for 2 years and competed, and in my division when I was 47, I took a second place trophy. But I simply wanted to know, what's it like to lean out, lift weights, and work to sculpt your body? Everything that I've gotten into, it's an opportunity to learn. Along these BSAs that I do, along this concept that I'm involved in, that I'm trying to promote, this staying active, staying involved, they have shown in many cases now, it's one of the things that will help ward off Parkinson's and dementia and Alzheimer's. We have to stay mentally active. We have to stay physically active. We want to maintain our quality of life. the men and women that are in their 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s, we shaped the world. We shaped Central New York. Some of these buildings were designed by us. Some of these streets were created by us. We've done that. We're not done. We're not done. We're like a bowling ball. We're not in the gutter. We're on the alley. We can still go down the alley and shake up the pins. We can still make a difference. We can change the score, is the way I like to say it. And that makes a difference. Quality of life is what we're looking for.
And I asked you during the commercial break, and I should have asked you now, which I will do, is how do you maintain your enthusiasm for life?
I think that's part of my martial arts Bushido background. And a lot of Americans, Westerners, didn't understand that, that the Bushido was so willing to commit hara-kiri, to kill themselves, or so willing to die in battle or die for the shogun. We looked at that side, and that side confused us. But the reverse of it is the beauty, and that is that if you're samurai, if you're in the Bushido flow, you live every day to the fullest. You never want to finish a day with regret. That makes it a good day to die. Not that you want to. You want another day like today, but you make today as best as it possibly can. You set an example for your grandchildren. You don't just watch them. You do something. You go someplace, and you make a difference, and your quality of life improves. And nobody ever said on their deathbed, I had a little sign that says, nobody ever said, I wish I had spent more time in the office. I wish I had spent more time on the computer working on that paperwork. No. Yeah. We always wish we had done more, and that's what I do.
Talking about doing more, what is it that you started up there called Pink Belt?
We did the Pink Belt to bring cancer awareness, and we designed the Pink Belt. I brought the concept in, and I gave all of my students an opportunity to do something that would promote cancer awareness. And if they did it, once they did it and it was checked off, they earned a Pink Belt. And then all of those students showed up at the October cancer rally and performed as a group. And so they all had earned their Pink Belts, men and women of all ages. It was wonderful.
What are you going to do that again? Was it successful enough to do it again?
It was very successful, but it's been done. I'd like to do something else. I'd like to look into other options now. Yeah.
The sense that I get when I talk to you is that you're always looking.
Always looking.
For something else to do, yes?
Yes, yeah, and my black belts say they hate to have me go on a vacation. It gives me too much time to think about new things that we could do, new things we could get involved in or try. But that's, you got to be looking, you got to be active, you want to make sure, you want to look around. I have such a wonderful time doing the things. And the beauty is, you know, we're in Central New York, and there's a lot of challenges in Central New York. And people go, wow, you know, there's nothing here. There's a lot here. And it's been a wonderful opportunity. The pickleball courts up there on the hill at the park in New Hartford, the tennis courts, the golf sites. We have a lot of things, and we simply have to be active and go out and look for them.
Have you thought about doing anything in terms of winter?
Oh yes, I have a whole winter line coming. Indoor swimming aerobics, cross-country skiing. I'm a snowboarder myself. I like to snowboard. But skiing, snowboarding, cross-country skiing, snowshoe walking, ice fishing. There's a lot of things. I mean, I did ice fishing once a long time ago. It was way too cold for me. I may not do that one now that I think about it.
Somebody told me once that, because I'd always be moaning about our winters here and whining, and they said that's because you're fighting the winter. You're not taking advantage of it.
You got to find something to do in it.
Yeah.
You can't. You got to find something to do in it. I appreciate them a lot more because I do something.
Give the addresses where people can go to watch your videos.
It's still alive and kicking. It's still alive and kicking.org. Stillaliveandkicking.org. You can look for Still Alive and Kicking on YouTube, Instagram, or AMAI-AmericanEagleStyle.com, and you'll find our spots and you'll find what we're doing. I look to share it with you, and there's a place to write. If you have a suggestion, I'm not dirty jobs, these are activities, it's the wrong show. There's a place for you to write, and if you take me up on one or two of my suggestions, please write me and let me know. I did not say email me or Instagram me. I said write me. I like to hold it in my hand and read it.
Thanks for coming in today.
A pleasure. Thank you
always
so
good
very
to see
much.
you. That's going to do it for us this week. We'll be back next week. Don't forget, all those things he was telling you about are free. We'll be back next week. We'll do it all again. Until next time, take care of yourself, everybody.